What is up, everyone, and welcome to an episode that's never existed before and is existing now before your very eyes. That's right, it is Flicking with Skip, and here is your boy, Skip, writer and producer for Cox in Space. Glad to have you here for the ride. Gathered here in the Discord that was set up for animation, and we're going another different direction. If you've been following this channel or this series, we do have a guest on today, so I'm excited to have him here. His name is Cody Campbell, and while he specializes in improv comedy, which is where I know Aaron from, he's also performed on stage and on TV and in film. He currently is coaching the West High School Improv, and he's the founder of Improv Tennessee Theater Company. Now, if you guys don't know about the Improv Tennessee Theater Company, it's because you're not in the know about improv, because Aaron Cody Campbell, is the one who runs the Secret City Improv Festival, which is booked by so many improvisers from all over the country. So I'm sure that you know about it. If you don't know about it, you should go check it out and get involved with it. Get your team involved with it if you're an improviser. Go watch some good comedy if you're not. It is coming up in October, and actually, I'm going to scroll over there with you so you can see how easy it is to find it. There it is. That's right. You can find it on all of these places. It has its own website, but it's beat out by its own Facebook. And also, there's an Instagram, all pointing to the same place. So if you want to check it out, you should definitely go check it out. Get in touch with Aaron Cody Campbell and come check out the show. All right, you see this what's going on. We will watch this. There you go, guys. You have got his quick little bumper there. As you see, it's October 2nd through the 4th at the Historic Grove Theater. So if you are around Tennessee and you are able to get to this show, the tickets are either just $10 a night or $25 for the entire weekend. And you see they've got a whole lot of improv lined up. So I'm excited to have him here as a guest. I am sure that he will be along shortly. In the meantime, to cover the direction that we are now going with the animation, is you're going to be watching me begin to try to do what I really just want to do and make it move a little bit. That's the only thing I really want. Maybe some beaks moving, as the words are being spoken. Maybe an arm, like gesturing a little bit, perhaps. We'll see what happens. If you have any tips or tricks that you would like to point out to me as a person who I believe admittedly in some of these podcasts just doesn't know how to do animation, but is willing to check out, see what it takes to make it happen. Or if you'd like to come aboard, you can join the crew at coxinspace.com. That's coxinspace.com. And yeah, you can either you can join the Discord and come check out our shows, which are happening 5 nights a week, 7 nights a week. If you count the writing meetings that happen, that you're welcome to sit in on. Always interesting from our points of view, productive more or less, but and not necessarily from an audience perspective, which is why we do these private shows. And also, you could connect with our Facebook to get involved, either get on the show and talk about what you enjoy, as we are focused on all kinds of weirdos from all over the place. So if you feel like you're kind of an oddball and like to talk to people who also feel like they're kind of oddballs, reach out, because oddballs are kind of our favorite people. I mean, I wish the guys were here so that they could be like, "Facts, bro." But they would definitely agree with me along those lines, 100%. If you are enjoying the show, make sure you like, comment, share, tell somebody you know about it. Let them know why you like it, why it's so fun for you to hang out with us, because we enjoy having you here, watching the progress of Cops in Space as it develops. So thank you for watching with us. Thank you for following along. And Let me get back to my guest. The reason I'm hesitating is because I'm actually trying to pull up his number and just message and double check, because we did say that we're meeting, and I'm just double checking. We are in different time zones, so he might be unaware. I do have a secret video that is coming out soon if you guys would like to see it. Don't mind the copyright violations that we have, from the show. We're taking care of those shortly.
I know you got the blues, I know you feel down, but you wanna keep your chin up, kid, so turn it around. I know you got that deep sadness, I know you got it down in your soul. You've been eating your feelings right out of a bowl. Your chin up, kid, so turn it around. I know you got that deep sadness, I know you got it down in your soul.
I know you got that deep sadness. I know you've got it down in your soul. I thought it was a fun place to end the video. Also, just tying that with the visuals of seeing Luna come together, visually and in the song, and then with the singer, it has been quite the treat. Now, I don't know if this is, just me like here, waxing poetic about the same thing that, you possibly are saying all along, but just my personal feeling on it is just that that song personally has really brought me a lot of hope. And I actually shared about it in the Discord. I don't want to get too cheesy and repetitive. Um, but Aaron's the one who wrote those lyrics. And the funny thing about Aaron's songs is, every time I hear them, I don't really think a whole lot about them. Like, I don't really actually have a high opinion of them or value them, which is just honesty, and not meant to be hurtful. I like them because Aaron likes them, which is generally why I'm like, okay, cool, yeah, let's put a song in here, because it's both of our show, you know what I mean? So like, if he's like, it's definitely time to do this thing, like, yeah, who am I to say not to? I'm really just I'm on the show to provide structure. If you guys don't know, that's what I do on the show. I have a story calculator that allows people to put, their ideas into it and then process, the entire idea through it. So you can get everything you want out of it, and it's useful for that. But all the lore comes from Aaron. And so when he's like, "This is how they behave. This is what the world is like," like that's where I'm like, "Okay, cool." Well, it's some things just don't make sense, and they can be silly because it's just like it doesn't fit in, to what it is, and that can be on either side. It's not like he's the only one who has silly ideas, because definitely I'm like way out base a lot. Um, but yeah, so with that, the songs I just what I realize is what she's singing is that you want to keep your chin up, kid, to turn it around, is the middle of those lines. And it's funny because it goes with Aaron's philosophy a lot, is that having loving people and being kind and having hope are all choices that we choose to do every single day. Um, so it's so funny. I don't know if he subconsciously like slipped it into the song, or if it's just like it's something he thinks about a lot. So like you know what I mean. But I just think that it's so cool that the message of Luna's song is that if you are feeling down and out, and if you are feeling like the world is against you, right, which is often why people turn to being mean and hateful and cruel, right, or indifferent, right? Those are all responses to feeling like the world is just too much. And honestly, guys, right, isn't it just too much? Comment below if you feel like the world is too much sometimes. Um, but when you're in those situations, the thing that you need to do is you need to keep your chin up. You need to make a choice to choose to keep your chin up to turn it all around. Um, and that act of choosing to not give up and to not surrender is the thing that makes that happen for you. Um, and so, and then I guess you could say on the flip side, if you still lose in the end, right? If you get crushed to death by, everything, because entropy does not give up on us, and we are slowly ground into nothing, like the same place that we came from, right? Um, and because that's the case, like even in that, we can still nobly choose not to give up. And I think that that's Aaron's philosophy, and I think it's a good one. I think that it's a really, really great thought to have and to continue to hold on to. So Aaron Cody Campbell, our guest, did get a hold of me. I'm just reaching back out to him. I apologize for the pause here. Not very professional of me to leave a little bit of air, but perhaps I will edit this out like it doesn't happen, or perhaps I'll leave it in just so you know where I'm at tonight. I try to make this podcast as real as possible, you know what I mean? So that you know what's going on with us, how the process works. Um, he said he's on his way now. So I will be glad to have him. So he's gotten quite a bit of a wind up, which I'm happy for him. Yeah, he's gotten to hear. We promoted his show, and then also gotten to speak about hope. Um, so as you can see, I'm actually reaching out to him now. You guys are welcome to come join us on the Discord at any time. One of the things that may happen, and that Logan suggested recently, is that we interview more people, which I love, right? Like that's just like the fantastic thing. Oh my God, you're gonna see all my friends and all the silly things that have come across my internet over here. Let me get out of here as soon as possible. I didn't realize how embarrassing that would be. Um, so here's the idea with this project, is that what I'm trying to do is to take what Jack has given us, the pecker in space, And I'm trying to make this like hmm, something. Is it this, guys? I'm dumb, like real dumb. This is how dumb I am. I think that's the format that we're supposed to use, but I also have no idea. So, yeah, you see, he's built all these beautiful layers here of how, all these different things. And I have it saved locally, but of course, he had it shared with me, and I'm trying to get the packer that is that's cool. I mean, someone said we should take him out, but they want to do something, with them. It's okay. I am going to. This is, he's done. He's done all this fantastic work. Right. And I'm like, no, I'm gonna merge it all into there we go. Because I don't need, I don't need all these other things. I just that's what I was afraid of, is that he'd only draw this space on the ship. Okay. Also, these jets are coming from somewhere else altogether. Two light effects on vastly different layers. Okay, you know how it is. I mean, working on a creative process, you just kind of fling stuff around, and try to get it so behind the scenes. Oh, jeez. We are gonna run into some problems. There's some minor problems with these panels. Like this isn't blue, but I'll get in touch with Jack and get together. This one might take a little while to get this set up, but hopefully. Here's the thing. I just need to do two things. I need to get space onto its own backdrop. So hopefully we can get something cool from that. There's no nebula in this shot. No, these are all on different layers. What's up, buddy? How are you? Oh, you know what? You are not a member yet. So Aaron, hold tight. Let me take care of that for you, if I can remember how. Welcome to the show. Just so you know, we have introed um, you as a person from what I know of you and was able to gather of you beforehand. As in that you teach and you've hosted, you're the founder of the theater. Also that you are doing the secret improv. I've showed them your website, the advertising you've had for it, and also told them the dates and times and locations so that you can check it out. So I am very excited to have you here. Um, I apologize for what seems to be a miscommunication in getting you here, and that Discord has some interesting little things to work through. So while it seems strange, I am glad that you're here. And give me 1 second, and I will get you included. And it doesn't seem to have you here. So let me do this for you so that you can be watching what is going on. I haven't even started sharing my screen because it's been all private up to this point. But Again, I'm sure that you are excited to start talking about all the details because while I briefly talked about them, it's not the same as you talking about them because uh, I'm excited to hear about them. That's what I can tell you for sure. So it will be 1 second. Oh, it's waiting for you to refresh. There you are. Hey, buddy. This should flip you over because we're going to make you a member. Welcome to the team. I know it's fun. You're probably having a blast already as you joined. Let me see if I can um, and try unmuting yourself now. That seems not to work. Um, you are also try backing out. Yeah. Um, are you unable to hear the conversation? There you go. Uh, there you go. Welcome, buddy. How
Ah,
are you? It was probably because you checked in without the member status. So thank you for being patient, and I am glad that you're here. I hope that I haven't upset your evening by surprising you with the time that this is. Um,
oh no, I was just getting I was just getting to where I could set up because I work in a different town than where I live. So just getting to where I was setting up, I was like, oh crap, I totally blew what time it was. So that's great.
okay, that's a totally regular thing. That's why I laugh because I'm like, yeah, yeah, I have been there. And I don't know if you follow astrology, but we're in Leo right now. And for some reason, since we've been in Leo, I've had a really hard time being on time. Time just keeps getting away from me. And that's one of those things that really annoy me about Leos is they never can seem to be on time. But now here we are experiencing it like they do. And I begin to understand a little bit.
Yeah, the normally I I I was a band geek growing up, and my band director, my favorite teacher, the whole time I was in school, it was to be on time or to be early is to be on time, to be on time is to be late. So, generally, I'm usually a little bit early, but
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, theater kid too, because you just respect the people who you're working with. So you're set up and ready to go when it's time to go, not you're arriving when it's time when everyone's ready to get started. Uh, so no, I completely understand that. It was, I worked in a bunch of kitchens as well, and that's kind of the same thing. Like we start at 7 o'clock, but you need to be there at 6:45 and get all your stuff set up and ready to go because we're going to start working at 7 o'clock.
yeah, I just did not it's just one of those that it's just a matter of respect. So I generally am early because I just wanna make sure I've got my head together at least.
100%. I understand that perspective as well. I should have asked before throwing around, such allegations about timeliness and Leos. What is your sign, Aaron?
Scorpio.
Oh, Scorpio. Okay, fun, fun. Okay, then we're gonna have a blast.
Literally the
Yeah,
literally the first day of Scorpio, depending on
really.
which horoscope you look at, October 24th. So they've moved
Yeah.
the date, but
Well, if
October
yeah, it
24th is
fluctuates.
the first day of Scorpio.
Yeah, yeah, that would be a very like solid in Scorpio. So the 24th. That is fantastic. Yeah, me and Scorpios get to have fun because we like to be snippy about things and sass about the world. We have a dark side, but also, that's the way that it is. So it gives us the ability to laugh about it. Um, IMO. So enough jaunty banter. I've got a bunch of questions for you.
All right.
Um, and the first thing that I want to know a lot about, and as much as you can possibly tell me, and I'm going to keep asking a bunch of questions because I'm super interested. But tell me if you can about the Secret City Improv Festival.
So the Secrecy Improv Festival is pretty much my passion project. But what got me into doing, the origin story of this whole festival is that I worked with the Gatlinburg Improv Festival
Okay.
for years, whether it was being on house teams, helping them out with whatever they needed, taking photos, shooting video, whatever.
Oh, that's awesome.
Um,
Involved is what you're saying.
uh,
Yeah.
Very much so. They had a house team for a few years that they called the Newfangles because we only got together once a year.
Okay,
And
fun. Well, if you know how to
yeah, so
improvise, right, and you know each other, you're gonna have a blast regardless of how many times you get together. How often? You could do it every 10 years, and you'd still have a fun time.
oh yeah, the Newfangles. It was because the theater that it took place in was called Sweet Fanny Adams Theater in Gatlinburg, Tennessee.
Fun. That's
It
a fun name.
was
That's a
a
very Tennessee name.
yes, well, it was a vaudeville style theater that had been in the family and it had run for when they closed up shop, it had run
Was
for
it
right
still
around
that
40
style?
years. Yes, and they did their own
Oh,
original show.
oh, wow, oh, wow. Yeah, and you got to play on that stage?
Yes, and it was so much fun.
Oh, oh, so jealous. Oh man. Okay. All right. That's okay. List of fucking cool experiences that I have not had, but still want really bad.
It was the hardest place I've ever had to photograph ever because everything was red.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
So
yeah.
it it was washout and red all the
Right.
way
And
around.
it's affecting the color of everyone's skin, right? And their
Yes.
costumes and everything because the lens doesn't know how to deal with it. So it's like I don't know. They're either really dark or green or black. Yeah, everyone's black.
Yeah. So one of the things that was really wonderful about Gatlinburg, the organizers of that festival were James Newport and his wife at the time, Trisha Newport. They've since split and she's
Gotcha.
remarried and James is doing this thing, but
Sorry to hear that.
they but they were the ones that they put their heart and soul into it. And it was really this kind of intimate family affair. It took place in late February, early March. Just
Okay.
kind of varied depending on the year. And
Okay.
there was like a core group of improvisers, just teams that would come every year. And so whether that be Einstein Simplified or it be oh crud, because Blue Plate Special came along eventually, and just a number of other teams like Four First Names and go on down through the line.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Um, but we would go out after the shows and we would go. It was always the running joke is that if we, whatever restaurant we would pick to go and just eat at that would stay open for us, they'd be
Uh-huh.
closed by the next year.
Oh, really?
And that stayed true except for the last festival where we went to a place called El Soñador, which was across the street, and they are still open to this day. They
That's
broke the curse, but the theater got sold in 2020.
okay. So it's because the
So
theater got sold that curse got broke. That's that. I mean, right? Like they took the hit
no,
instead.
we had well, yeah, they got a big paycheck from either Jimmy Buffett or from Blake Shelton. One of them bought the theater.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Because it has that such the style to it.
Yeah, well, they have since tore the theater out, and the building is something completely different. So,
What?
yeah,
Why?
the theater
Why?
no longer exists.
No. Why would they do that?
It's Gatlinburg, and there's money to be made and
Okay, right, okay.
putting a CBD shop in and so on and so forth. But
Yeah, that's everywhere. I don't know why American consumerism shocks me every time I hear about it, but it continues to. So, okay.
yeah, well, Gatlinburg is just it's just a tourist hole. That's about all it really is, and it's insane and packed, and you can buy T-shirts for $5 and maybe get eaten by a bear. It's just kind of how it is.
Wow. Okay, gotcha.
But when we would have those late night dinners or eating breakfast or whatever,
Right.
the discussion started happening about 4 years before the festival ended. So about 2016, 2015, 2016.
Okay.
Let's do a fall festival. It'd be great if we could get together and do this in the fall also. And
Oh, gotcha. Because they were only doing the late winter, early spring festival.
Yes.
Okay.
And so after the 2020 festival, because we got it in before COVID lockdowns happened, because the last festival was in February, and then COVID lockdowns happened in middle of March.
Wow. So literally right under the gun.
Right under the gun. But that's but I had went home from that festival because my son was born in January of 2020.
Okay.
And it was the first thing I got to do after he was born.
Oh, that's fun.
And I went home and I was talking to my son's mom, and she goes, I was like, yeah, I wish I could plan it. I'd love to do it, and so on and so forth. And she just looks at me and says, just do the damn thing.
Right. Sometimes
do it.
sometimes a man needs a good woman to kick him in the pants to get him moving.
Very much so. And so I called James Newport a day or two later, and I said, hey, James, I am thinking about doing a festival. He said, I'm going to stop you right here. And then he says, I've been waiting on you to do this call for about 3 years.
Oh my God. So since you guys have been talking about it all that time ago, he's like, all right, come on, Aaron. Come on, Aaron. Pull together a festival. Now, had you produced festivals before, or was it your first? I mean, obviously you'd been part of the running the Gatlinburg show, but like, had you done it solo? Again, you don't produce shows solo. But
oh, I can tell you that first year was a nightmare in 2021 because I basically did produce it solo.
Holy crap! Okay.
My background before everything, my background was in motorsports.
Okay.
I had Sean Yan, I think that's how you pronounce his last name, that had run the Green Bay Improv Festival.
Okay.
Him and I are like we started talking, and he's also a motorsport photographer and all this. I was a PR guy, I was a media director, I was, all through my 20s, that's pretty much what I did.
That's
that was
awesome.
my first career, and I worked for various tire companies. I worked for various tire companies. I worked for different sanctioning bodies. I worked for race teams.
So you understand how productions are put together and how to like get product done.
Yes, and
like you create an event and
all of that.
Okay, cool. So okay, gotcha. So when you're like, okay, improv, I kind of know, and you've been around it, and so you're like, I can kind of tackle those.
So improv for me started before. Well, I started doing motorsports when I was 16 years old.
Oh, cool.
So around the same time, that's when we didn't have a theater program. High school I went to. There was no theater program. There was nothing like that. When I went to college, I took an intro to acting class with the great late Bruce Boren, and that class was mostly improv. Like there was some theory about acting and all this, but it was mainly improv. And I loved that class so much I took it 3 times. And Bruce encouraged me to go watch Einstein Simplified, which they have been around for 31 years.
Okay.
They formed in '94, so they had been around. By that point, they had been around for about 11, 12 years at that point. And I went to watch them were they at Side Splitters? I think it was the old Side Splitters Comedy Club in Knoxville. But I would go watch them. I wanted to audition, but then my career took off and I went to California and went out west and everything got put on hold. And when I came back, we had I had a production company. I was partnered with a production company. I was a partner in a production company. Let me rephrase that.
Okay.
And I came back from New York, and we were going to film a music festival that ultimately it imploded on the second day.
Oh jeez. No. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Well, at least it was early, right? Instead of like a fire festival where it's like happening while the people are on the beach.
Thank goodness we weren't on the beach, but yeah,
Right.
the second day of that festival, because it was supposed to be a 3-day music festival.
Oh.
And it imploded on the morning of the second day because
I'm sorry. At the festival, it imploded. I'm sorry. I thought you meant during the planning stages, it imploded. No, you got so far as okay. I do need to hear this story. I'm sorry for interrupting.
So it was a festival called Super Twine.
Okay.
And it took place in the town where I grew, or outside of the town where I grew up. I grew up in a little mountain town called La Follette, Tennessee. And this took place in a place called Speedwell. It took place on a farm.
Oh, fun.
And
Okay.
it's all outlaw country music. It's just like, this is going to be great. We had, my partner and my partner was still living here. I was living in New York at the time because I was working for a company. I was working for an energy company as a sales in Staten Island.
I got you.
And my partner and I, it was like, oh, we want the filming rights to this because this is going to be great. And well, we secured it, but us being novices at writing contracts, the promoter got us to agree to a 50-50, not a 51-49, but a 50-50.
Gotcha. So no one had a controlling whatever it's called, where you have a majority of the company, right?
Right. So when that went, and everything was great. The first night, it was good. I might have had some fun on us with Artemis Pyle who had been in Leonard Skinner. That was probably one of the greatest experiences. We had a whole other. We did this like little private party because we were all out on houseboats because this took place on a farm that was on Norris Lake in Tennessee.
Gotcha.
And so we were staying on a houseboat.
Of course.
My whole crew was.
Right. And you right.
Houseboat.
Everybody, you invited all the musicians out there, right? You're the ones who are like paying them and such, right? So you guys are getting together.
Well, the producer of the festival did that. We're just the film crew, but we had a jam session that we filmed out at the boat because there were a lot of local artists, but then we also had Bucky Covington and his brother, and I forget who else came down. There were a couple of other didn't exactly like blow up, but had a little bit of name recognition, but that was 15 years ago. So
right.
And I might have had 1, 2, or 10 oak beverages at that point, but but we did this jam session and all this. Well, the next morning we're all hungover and go back up, and the beer vendors are leaving.
What?
And I'm like, this is bad.
Yeah. There goes your revenue.
Yeah, so the beer vendors are leaving. The guy who was organizing the festival, he packed up and left too. Like, shows started at like 10 a.m. So there's people on stage. The beer vendors are leaving. The crowd is, like, this thing could turn into a riot.
Right, yeah, exactly, because they're going to want their money.
And thank God it did not. Jimmy Van Zant saved the whole thing. Because people come to see him.
Oh, gotcha.
And so Jimmy Van Zant saves the whole thing by he's going to perform regardless if whether or not he came to perform for the people, he's going to perform whether he gets paid or not, because
Wow.
he got paid half, but you got paid half to secure the date, and then the other half you would have got paid after you performed. But so he only got half his payment.
Oh no.
Yeah, but he stayed and performed and put on a great show, and
That's awesome.
it yeah.
There's
So
no beer for
it
anybody. What? Okay, so first of all, what happened to the other producer, Fled, who like what? Did he just like take off with the money? Like what happened? Why did he do?
exactly.
Why did he
And
do that?
it pretty much, I'm pretty sure it was a scam because he wasn't going to pay any of the. I think it all just
Oh
turned into this house of cards because the
no.
beer vendor wanted their payment for the day before, and he didn't want to pay them,
Uh,
and those disputes turned into one thing or another, and more than likely he was going to pack up and disappear, which is
oh
exactly what he
my
did.
God. Right. Yeah, Aaron, you've been in promotion and sales in it sounds like a lot of companies across the country. And do you ever notice how many grifters there are that work in like just like those types of jobs like marketing and sales? Like it just seems like a lot of slime balls, right?
I've worked in motorsports,
Okay,
so
sorry.
there's a lot of grifters
In that
I
one
have
particular
met
field.
across the years. Yeah, motorsports is one of those that you will meet. There are just people that they are just grifters, or there's money laundering or whatever. Racing history is full of it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I mean, right, that's where it
so
starts, right? Actually, because they were trying to like clean up some money somehow. Isn't that where all like gambling starts off of? Like they take in money and they put out
pretty
money.
much.
And, yeah, it's a money laundering scheme. Because you can't tell where it came from.
So
It's an all cash business.
I mean, there's numerous people like Formula One is rife with fake sponsors, companies that are not above board. You've had multiple people that they funded their racing careers on they funded their racing careers on drugs and many other arms sales and things like that they funded
Exactly.
their whole racing careers. Usually those things fall apart really, really, really fast. But yeah, it's one of those that it's all through racing history. So, but this guy, he
he,
had
he
been
must
the
he must
guy
have
that
been
produced
really
the
good,
Super
right,
Twang
to get one
Festival.
over on you.
He got one over on not just us, but on everybody. And
Yeah,
there was a 3 or 4 or 5 year contract that he had signed with the family that owned the farm to produce Super Twang for multiple years, and he had sold it as that he wanted to make it kind of like a smaller Bonnaroo type of deal, and like in our little redneck, economically depressed area. It's like,
huh.
this sounds fantastic.
Right, right. I got you. So wow, yeah, obviously has a great pitch and and great salesmanship. Because he knew his audience and then knew what they needed to hear. So you said that got your experience, not just that, but producing all the things that you have over the time in your career. But that gave you the experience and confidence to do the secret Inner City Improv Festival. So after you'd done it for a little while in Gatlinburg, working that other show and being part of that festival, you're like, okay, cool, this is time to do it. And then you said that kicks off in 2020, but then mostly you carry the weight in 2021. But it seems like it's pretty
Yeah,
healthy now. 5 years in.
it's amazing. So the first festival, we should have had the first festival in the fall of 2020, but we tried all the way up until August, and then that was out. So in the first year, we beat the Delta variant of COVID by a short amount of time, like a matter of like 2 or 3 weeks, something like that.
Jeez.
And for me to put that first festival on, I had to develop a COVID plan to satisfy the health department in Anderson County, Tennessee, because Oak
Oh,
Ridge is in Anderson County. So I had to consult the Tennessee Theater, the Bijou Theater in Knoxville, the Fox Theater in Atlanta, the Princess Theater in Minneapolis, and like I consulted with numerous other theaters that were doing things to create a hybrid plan of all their good ideas and put it down so that the health department would be like, yes, you can do this.
right. At the end of the
And
day.
at the end of the day. And that first festival, we had 14 teams that came,
Oh,
and
cool.
we tried to, I basically ran that thing pretty much by myself. Like, I had some half-hearted volunteers, but like everything just no, it just turned into I had built it, they had come, and I had next to no volunteers. So, and not only that, part of the COVID plan was that in between every show block, we were doing I had everybody. So if you were in a group together, you could sit with each other, but then there had to be like 2 seat separations, and
Makes
it was
sense.
a lot of stuff. But we also kicked everybody out. So at intermissions and everything, and I had to kick everybody out. I ran around with this. I had a pump sprayer like you would use in a garden.
Oh,
I
gotcha.
had
Yeah.
this. I had a chemical solution um, that they used in hospitals. And I ran around like spraying up in the air, and I had this thing just spraying all through the theater. But that was the way to keep everybody safe and nobody caught COVID. It wasn't a super spreader event. It was
That's
as
awesome.
far as that goes, everybody
Successful.
came through. We made it through,
Right.
and then had a brunch afterwards. And the only people who showed up to brunch were um, Richard Reagan and oh crud, he's gonna kill me, and I cannot. The, oh, and I can see him, and I can't think of his name.
What team is he on? What
Uh,
does he do?
Richard's partner in Four First Names. And I
Okay.
cannot. Oh goodness, this is where my age is showing at this
Yeah,
point.
no, 100%. I
Uh,
know exactly that feeling where you're like, this is one of my good friends. Why can't I remember what their name is? Um,
I'm at the age now where I will walk into a room and I will have a plan, and as soon as I cross a threshold,
it's
I'm staring at the wall, going, I don't remember why I'm here.
So, Aaron, you don't realize it, but that's where the player has actually hit a loading screen, and they've gone off and gone and done something else where they're waiting for it to load, and they've come back and forgotten what it is that they were doing too. So, just don't feel bad about that. That's just that's where your loading screens are at. They're also save
Oh
points.
yeah,
So if you have a heart attack in that room, you're going right back to that door you just crossed. So, fun
yeah.
times.
So there were a lot of lessons learned, but that festival we ran late. Like the thing is that I had originally planned for 2 theaters. I had originally planned for 2 stages,
Okay.
and when we had to condense it down because we only had 14 teams, I had to rewrite the whole schedule. And the one thing that I did not build into my schedule were the transitions. And I had more than one person look at my schedule,
Uh,
and
right.
everybody's like, "This looks great,"
Right.
and
Right.
nobody caught that I did not build transitions in. So every night by the end of the night, we're an hour and a half behind, and we can't figure out why.
Right, right. And of course, freaking out. Everybody's kind of like trying to figure out. Yeah.
It's
Uh,
it's so late. It's like the shows ran super late, and I didn't have anybody doing back of house. I really didn't have anybody doing front of house. I mean, I was basically running all positions
right. My
throughout that festival.
God.
And
You wouldn't
yeah,
do it if you
but
didn't love it, right?
it was a blast, but I was dead. By the end of that weekend, I was dead. And
Yeah,
generally, I am. By the end of the weekend every year, I'm dead. But it's a blast. It's a lot of fun.
I have been
And
to a number of improv festivals in my time, and definitely have had that exact feeling. That's why there's a huge smile on my face. I'm like, oh man, again, one of those experiences. I'm like, yeah, that's so cool that you get to be a part of that every year now.
it is. And it's, you know, I love the every year I'm just amazed. It's like I have that, I put the submission link up on the website, announce when submissions are, and then the first submission comes in and it's somebody new, and I'm like,
Oh,
oh,
cool.
thank God.
Right. Yeah. Right.
It's like because the Secrecy Improv Festival takes place in a historic theater. It's a 500 seat room.
Okay. Wow.
It's not an improv theater. It's a big stage because the Historic Grove Theater was a concert hall when it was first built during the Manhattan Project.
Wow. Okay.
And
Okay.
it it just amazes me that people want to come to this festival. Like it amazes me year in and year out and where they come from.
Yeah, I was
It's
noticing it people from kind of all over. Do you have a brief rundown, or like off the top of your head, like all the states and locations that they're coming from? Because I just like it
for
just kept
this
going,
year's
and I was like, wow, and from there, and wow, and from there.
yeah, this year's festival we've got 21 cities represented from 16 states.
Very nice. Okay.
Last year we had a higher number of states last year.
How many did you
I
have
think we
last
had
year?
like 20 states last year.
Very cool. Okay.
Um, but it's the amount of teams that are willing to just come here because I'm just a dude that has a theater. I'm not that has a theater for a week. It's not like we're supporting you know, uh, it's not we're supporting an improv theater like Third Coast is out in Nashville or DIF or any of those, a lot of those other established places. I just a dude in East Tennessee that has a theater that, I love improv and I have been in and out of doing improv for 20 years
Right. That's awesome.
that I'm just absolutely shocked every year that people come. And then I've got people that come back, like Nick Condon comes back. He's come back. This would be his third time coming back.
Oh, that's awesome.
Um, it's amazing. It's like these wonderful performers come and put on great shows on that stage, and it's it's just mind-boggling. It's like they chose to come to this one. And I get it. Like this year I had people that had applied that, oh, we heard about your festival from word of mouth. And it's like that's all that I it's like I'm not building anything that, it's not for anything other than I just want to have a weekend where I'm around people that like you get improvisers in a room together and it's like y'all understand each other's weird.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. We just
And
celebrate how weird all of us are. I mean, I love it.
exactly. So
Yeah, like I mean, that's what
it's
I was
like
like. Hey, Aaron, you want to come on the show? And you're like, yeah, we've never met, but this is gonna be fun because we just like we're gonna hang out and just enjoy like being weird.
that's it. And it's that we all understand we're all on a page, we're all on the same page with each other
Yeah,
in a way that you just don't get in a lot of other gatherings. And it's just fun
yeah.
to meet all these wonderful people and to make a lot of new friends every year. And
Every
it
year,
just
I'm sure. Yeah, exactly. Right. Like, and then get to see your old friends come back again every year. That's actually why I was smiling. I was like, oh man, just like the vibe in that theater for that weekend. I'm just like that. It's like a gathering of the family.
pretty much, and I follow. So the reason Gatlinburg was, I think the reason Gatlinburg was super super successful is because it ran for 10 years.
That's good for a festival, yeah.
The big lesson I took from Gatlinburg, it was, this is not about anything other than the art form itself and the camaraderie and the brother and sisterhood of improvisers. Everybody is the same that walks through that door. We're all the same.
Yeah.
And it's not a festival that's going to break the bank. It's, there's no hierarchy. There's nobody on my, on my layout. There's nobody that is higher than anybody. And I've had solo performers. They're like, well, how much time are you gonna give me? And it's like, I'm gonna give you the same amount of time I give everybody else. And they're like, really? It's like, yeah, because some festivals they do, like a solo performer only get 15 minutes, but an ensemble might get 30, 40 minutes. And it's like, that ensemble is what you're doing is just as important as that ensemble or as that duo or that trio or whatever. Everybody is putting on the same show with the same heart, the same everything. Why would I want to give you less than somebody else? It's just that doesn't seem fair to me. And
100% agree.
I want everybody to have it.
And I love that
if you're going to come.
Sorry. Please continue.
Yeah, if you're going to come, I want you to have that.
Yeah.
So, and that's the whole idea. And then the other thing that I loved about Gatlinburg is that workshops didn't break the bank. You could take all the workshops at Gatlinburg and spend $100.
Oh wow!
And it's why we do 2 master classes. That's about the only way that I differ. Is we do 2 3-hour master classes, and we do 4 workshops that are 90 minutes. And I fix the rate on those, but we pay out at 100% to our teachers. But I fix the rate so that you can come and, oh, this sounds fun. This class sounds fun. This master class sounds great. I want to take this. You can afford it.
Right. That makes sense, right? Because then you get the people to experience, right? And that's really the reason you want to go to a festival where they have classes, is that you can go hang out and learn from the people who have more knowledge than you do, or have a different point of view than you, which is going to, can help break you out of, wherever you are in your thought process. That's really, really cool. Aaron, that's so fantastic. All your information is on your website, right? The secretcityimprovfestival.com.
Yeah, secretcityimprovfest.com.
And guys, I would encourage everyone to go check that out, whether you're into improv or improv festivals, or you're interested in just seeing the shows. That's the time and the place. It's all up there. It's going to be in October, the 2nd through the 4th. And tickets, as I noticed, were very reasonable. $10 for the show, or $10 for a day, and $25 for the weekend.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, this part of my philosophy is that this is just a fun weekend, and I want to make it economical for people to come, so it's cheaper than a movie ticket. You're going to be able to come out and you're going to be able to catch
right, of course,
all of these shows. And it's not just the professionals. It's also that on Saturday, we do a program. Richard Reagan, I get to say that I helped, but really it was Richard who created our high school intensive program, the Sladen Intensives.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
And with that, we take high school improv teams and we pair them with a performer, somebody that's going to teach. They go through an entire day with them. They learn a form, and then those high schoolers go out and they get to perform on stage. So they get their own time on stage. Plus, we do a big jam with all the high schoolers.
Oh, fun.
And it's a blast.
I bet. Yeah, I first got introduced to improv in high school as well. And I remember that was, I mean, obviously it's pivotal for me because, that became kind of an obsession for me. Just, everything that was associated with that. But yeah, no, just being a kid and getting to make up whatever you wanted to with the people that you're having fun with. That's it. Yeah. There's nothing better than that. I'm glad you're doing that. That's actually one of the things you said you wanted to talk about is how you enjoy, and you think it's important that you reach out to kids and that they start improvising early. Now, why do you think that?
So we have to think about where things are going in the future.
Okay.
This was one of the things that when we wrote the whole plan for the intensives, it was we took the educational standards of Oak Ridge schools,
Oh, cool.
and we also, because Richard's a project manager, I'm project manager, and we are of that mindset of team building, critical thinking, um, being able to work together as a team, you know, being able to have agile mentality and all this. And
Right.
it's really the whole
The
purpose
face
of
the
the
fear
intensives
mentality, right?
is it's head fake learning because the all the skills. So when I go through with my instructors, I'm like, I'm not going to tell you the form to teach, but these are the things that we want to accomplish in at least introducing these kinds of concepts to the students. This is what we want to accomplish in this. You will teach your form better than anything. I'm not going to sit here and tell you to do a Harold or an Armando or short form or whatever, because I want them to learn you at your best.
Oh,
And
that's
the
cool. Okay.
shows that the high schoolers do. Yeah, the shows that the high schoolers do are fantastic, but there are these educational objectives that we have for the intensives.
What are
And
those objectives? Do you mind sharing? Like what specifically what goals are you trying to get? Like if someone's like, "Hey, I'm going to have you whatever form you want to," but you're like, "These are the goals you have to get." What are those goals for those kids? Like, what do you think is important to make sure that kids know how to do?
so one of the important things is that we want the kids to oh, give me just a second here.
You're all good.
The things that we really want to do is we want to oh, give me just a second here. My brain is all sorts of short circuited. But
You're all good.
we want to do um we want to accomplish um an environment of inspirational, supportive, experiential learning, and we want to be able to have the kids really learn by doing and being able to reflect. Also, by doing, they're not in a lecture environment.
Right, right.
And and really what we're trying to teach them is to think things through in the who, why, and where, and all this, but building trust and understanding and having growth mindsets and um, understanding, the while you're setting a challenge and setting expectations, that you're also in um, you're in a shared fun environment.
Yeah.
Improv is all about intuitive play and discovery.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
it's we're teaching those kids how to tap into their creative leadership. And
That is
that's the
100%
whole
true.
goal.
Yeah. And I, as a person who has gone through that, speak as a testament to what improv can do for you. Because once you've been on stage a bunch, like working out together, like what it is, like who we are and what is going on, and then within that, telling stories and making jokes. Like once you've experienced that and like just the adrenaline rush of doing that while people are judging you actively, I can tell you confidently that I can take on any task because like I can just look at it and then be like, okay, it's intimidating, but that's not something I've never felt before. And in this situation, I'm going to apply my brain to it and give it my best shot, looking at everyone around me as geniuses and artists and poets, so I can learn everything I can from them and then propel myself forward. Yeah, it's gotten me jobs, it's gotten me auditions, like that like attitude has made it possible for me to like live a confident life, because you can find joy in everything, right? Everything is a game, if you look at it.
Yeah. And, you know, that's what I really love is, these students come in, and some of the students, because we've had one school that has done every iteration of the intensive so far,
Hmm.
and to the point they're back again this year for
Oh,
another
that's
run
cool.
of the intensives.
Okay.
So the students at Hardin Valley Academy that have gone through and done the intensives, we're going to have kids that are going to have done the intensives the entire time they're in high school, and they always
That's
come back.
really cool, man. That means you equipped a
I
whole
know,
class of students to be capable, like thinking on their feet, working together as a team. Right? Yeah, like not worrying about struggles, because those are like where the joy comes from, is when you face struggles. Oh man.
right?
Way to go.
And they
I'm
and
proud of
those
you as a
students,
person for doing that. This is what we need everywhere.
well, what I love is that when those students, and it's not just the students from there, we've had a homeschool group that has done this also. They've done it for a couple of years, and then we've had other high schools. And when we get these reflections back from the students, it's, I didn't feel confident when I got here this morning, but I feel like a beast when I left.
Of course they do, because
Or
they get to improvise.
yeah, or I'm allowed to start thinking outside of the box, and that has helped me thinking about my other subjects, where I feel more confident as a person, or I'm more, you know, or whatever. It's there's so many positive outcomes that these students report back to us. It's it's like this is the whole idea,
Right, yeah,
that that's what we're wanting to teach.
that's exactly I mean, I've been studying improv for about as long as you have. I think I started officially in Chicago in 2004. Um, but like that's the once I started that, it like I mean it was already exploding at that point, but I've noticed in the 20 years since then, like just how much it's spread. And it's just been like overjoyed. I'm like overjoyed about it, because I'm just like the more people that we have that want to work together, that want to accomplish goals together, that like look, for, don't give up in situations, that have confidence that we can hold on to our own choices and still, play well together, all of those things. I'm like, the better we are as a nation of people. So I'm just like, I'm so glad I believe you're right. We should make sure that improv is in the schools as an art form, because it's very healthy for kids.
It's a whole lot better to add and collaborate than it is to cut down and deny. It's
100%.
end all be all. The world is a better place when people say yes. And that's why
And
I always tell kids, like, the one book you should always keep with you outside of truth and comedy and stuff like that.
right.
It's um the Dr. Seuss book, Oh, the Places You'll Go.
Okay, fair.
And then
That was my
also
graduation speech.
to yeah, and then watch Yes Man.
Okay, fair,
Watch
right.
that Jim Carrey movie,
My favorite actor.
because when there's an important lesson inside of Yes Man, it's that his life was boring and miserable and all this until he got that motivational speech of just say yes.
Right.
He said yes to everything, and his life transformed mostly for the positive. But of course, there's also those foils in there to where he learns that you need to say yes to most things, but it's okay to say no every once in a while. But that's
There are
what
some
improv
dangers you should
teaches you.
avoid. Yeah.
Yeah, don't say yes to everything.
Maybe not
No, do
everything.
not say yes to wrestling a bear.
Right.
But but say yes. Go on that. Give yourself the permission to step out of your comfort zone and take a running photography class or go on a trip to Omaha, Nebraska, which I highly recommend because they are the funniest people out there at the back line.
Really? Oh, the backline, of course.
Oh
Yeah,
my
yeah.
gosh,
No, no.
Omaha.
I thought you meant there's.
Omaha
Of course, you said backline.
Yeah, Omaha is just it's fun to think, but Omaha, whether it was two buses who were at our first festival, come over to Rachel Ware. Um, Absolutely hilarious people. Dylan Rhodey came out and did Cards of Destiny, and he taught that to Hardin Valley, and they killed with that format. And then this year I've got what's her name, Kristen. I will get her last name wrong, but Kristen, who's the musical director, she's bringing Pandemic Pandemic at the Disco, her musical show, and I can't wait for that.
That's
Um,
awesome.
but Omaha is so wicked. It's weird to think because all you think about Omaha or Nebraska in general is cornfields. You don't think about cornfields breed humor.
Well, when there's nothing else to do, that you got to do something. So yeah, it does have a tendency. People like just make up weird stuff because they're there. Yeah, no, Omaha when I was there was flat and gray. Uh, did not like it. Um, but yeah, no, that's fair.
Funniest
But it's
thing
good to know
about
that there's comedians. There was a bunch of weird people who were there, so I could see how they would turn to comedy as an outlet for their weirdness.
oh Oh yeah, and the back line is fantastic. Like Dylan's
Fantastically
got such a
weird.
good thing going at the back line. Oh, Nebraska is just kind of funny to me anyway because at least when I was traveling cross country, working when I was in the motorsport game, go across Nebraska quite a bit, and pulled into a rest area somewhere in western Nebraska, and I don't know if it's I-80 or I-70 or whatever that runs through Nebraska. And I saw the Nebraska Highway Patrol posted the speeding fines for the entire, if you get pulled over for speeding, this is what the fine's going to be. And it was posted at the rest area.
Okay.
And it went like 1 to 5, 5 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 40. And then it went all the way down to 150 plus.
Wow. Okay.
And the fine was only like $300. And it's like, okay.
Well, if you have a car that goes that fast, yeah, and that means you definitely have the money to pay that fine. Yeah, laws are just for people who can't afford to break them. Everybody else can get out of jail free, apparently. So.
Because I always thought that was funny because there's no other state that just dares you to speed.
Well, they're also like there's not a whole lot of obstructions and a lot of straight paths. So I'm sure that they do deal with that quite a bit, and everyone's trying to get out of there. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, because there's not much once you hit the middle of the state. There's nothing there.
There's not, yeah, and that's why I was like, oh, like the whole time with like I've driven through Texas a bunch of times, and I'm always like, okay, but there's interesting things to look at, but all of Nebraska is like, oh, there ain't nothing. Hey,
There's not anything there, but the people are wonderful.
Yeah, no, okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, not trying to talk bad about the people because yeah, we did meet a bunch of really fun, weird people in Nebraska as we passed through, but it was just driving through it, and I'm sure the people who live there also know that and are like, "Yep, we agree with you. It's not fun to look at."
Yeah, that's pretty much the attitude. Is we know our state's boring, but we're all awesome.
But yeah, no, yeah, there definitely are.
That makes Nebraska absolutely worth the visit.
I would, yeah, just for the people and for the improv that's out there. Now I'm gonna back up real quick. I just want to ask you, as we're coming to the close of the show, we have about 15 minutes left or so. Is there a website that you have set up for so people can reach you about your the intensives that you give through the schools?
So that is, it's all on the Improv Festival website.
Okay.
So and everything is real easy. It's secretcityimprovfest.com slash, if it's submissions, then I pretty well name my naming conventions for everything is pretty much, if you can think of what it is, it's probably that's the naming convention for
That's
it.
probably what. Sorry for
It would be,
submissions. It's submissions.
yeah.
As
So
you should be.
it's slash Sladen. It's secretcyimprovfest.com slash Sladen. SLAYDEN.
That was going to be the question. Yeah, there are a few different spellings of Sladen. But okay, cool. Yeah, because I want to make sure that people, if they heard about this and they're like, "Dang, dude, that's definitely something that I am interested in having," you guys in the Tennessee area, or possibly travel or franchise or whatever it is, that they can reach out to you
Oh,
and make sure that
I
happens.
would love for, yeah, because this program, the Sladen intensives are scalable, so they are something that I would love to. I would love to have those program. I would love to have that program go out to other festivals, and we don't charge. We don't charge the kids anything. We provide them breakfast and lunch. We pay a stipend to our instructors. So it's not anything that we're not looking to make money off of it. We just want to teach. We just want to try to do something good for those high schoolers.
Yeah, and you're
For
seeing a
the
lot of results from it
younger generation.
as you would. Yeah. It would be definitely cool if in the schools there was, I know funding is getting cut for everything, but if they replace any of the arts with just an improv class, where people got to do that between math and science. You would like spawn creativity in all the kids in all the fields that they're going into. That's really what it's about. The most valuable skill you can have in the
Yeah,
future in the information age is how to assimilate information and how to work together with other people around you. That's like the keys, like skill set the future kids are going to need. Um, so I
it
won't get off
is.
that
And I
soapbox for
mean,
too long.
yeah, because there's not a lot of outlets. If you take the arts out of schools, you
Right,
take performing arts out of schools, then you kill that outlet for kids. And
right.
they need that outlet. It's just as important, whether it be marching band or theater or improv or chorus or whatever.
Right.
It's it's so vitally important because they need to be able to have a positive way to have an outlet.
Yeah, well, everybody,
Because
whether they admit
otherwise,
to it or not, they're creative. They have things going on inside of them that they want to express, and it comes out in different ways. But otherwise, I believe you're about to say,
yeah, otherwise, you know, I live in rural Appalachia.
right?
It's when you don't have those outlets, then you start finding other negative influences and you become susceptible to negative influences,
Yeah.
and then you go down whole other paths.
I mean, and there's a,
And
there's a whole bunch. I mean, you could either be talking about gang activity, you could be talking about forms of violence or theft, you could be talking about addiction, right? Just things to fill up their time. But when you give a kid improv, it gives them something to want to do. And it's something that they actually get joy out of by doing. And so you give them a positive outlet that is also, as you and I both know, fairly addictive in itself because you just want to improvise more and daily, right?
right. And I think about all the people that I met when because I trained at the Village Theater in Atlanta, and that's where I got my hardcore improv actual, studio
Oh,
education.
nice. Okay,
Is I
gotcha.
would
Nice.
travel from Knoxville. Yeah, I would travel from Knoxville to Atlanta on a weekly basis,
Quite,
once, twice, three times a week at times, to go down to take classes at the Village Theater.
shout out.
And the people that I met that I went through classes at the Village, some of them were just, they're so scared of public speaking, or they're moving into a leadership role, and it's like they're trying to bring that out in them. And it's amazing watching how you go into a 101 class or to a level 1 class, and everybody's in their shell, and by the time you get to level 4 and level 5, the shyest person that was there is just now they're just out there center stage, like, belting out a sea shanty or something.
Yeah, and they're surprising
And
themselves too. Like they're the ones who are the most surprised that they're doing it. Oftentimes, right?
come off stage and they're like, "What did I just do?"
Like what
You
just
own the
happened?
stage.
Yeah, you
That's what
own
you
it.
did.
Yeah, you're capable of doing that. One of the things that I wanted to ask you, because I know you've had a lot of experience doing improv, being around improvisers, teaching improv, especially to young kids, who are like, they can't necessarily, I mean, teenagers, right? But like, they're not really going to have like a really heavy like theory on improv, probably. So in that, what is the biggest thing that you found that helps people get out of their heads? And for those who don't know improv terms, that's just where you start thinking, and instead of doing stuff, you think about doing stuff, and it makes this big long pause happen. Um, so what is your? I mean, obviously it's different from student to student because of what it is that is causing them to do that. But what is your go-to as far as like getting out?
So Karen Stobie, I took a workshop with her. Karen Stobie is one of the founders of um, Reasonably Priced Babies in Asheville, North Carolina.
Okay.
Funny, funny, funny woman. And so he really helped me when I was a younger improviser because she made it clear that even though I could see it, nobody else can see it.
Ah,
So you've got to bring it to life. You can't just, you know, you've got to flourish your detail, whether it's through your actions or building out the space or whatever. You whatever you see, nobody else can see it until you can make everybody see it. And you know, it's it's really capturing that. So like I had done it was a scene on a beach,
mhm.
and I just kind of a generic thing, but it didn't look like I was when I did it the first time around. When I think back about it, it's like nobody knew what the hell I was doing. And so Karen had me stop and like describe everything around me and then interact with everything around me.
Right, right.
And it was that's the easiest way to get out of your head is when you start interacting with everything around you that you see so that everybody else can see it.
That is
And
great. Thank
then
you for really driving that point home to make sure that it was clear what you were saying. Um,
yeah,
yeah.
and then Ian Covell. Ian Covell took another workshop with Ian Covell, and this
Mhm.
is the most probably it was the most impactful moment I ever had in a workshop is it was about connecting with your emotions. And Ian pushed me to like a breakthrough.
Mm.
But he was like it was he was like in my face. Like he knew that there was something there and he was gonna pull it out of me.
Wow.
And by God, he pulled it out of me. So it taught me how to connect with myself so that I can project my emotions. So it ties to what Karen said because you get into your head about where you're at in a scene, you'll get into your head about your own emotions, and then you'll clam up, and then you won't be able to accurately convey. So it's you've got
Interesting.
to be able to connect with what you see, but you've also got to connect, and you got to connect inside to connect outside on both of those. And once you can do that, you're going to be able to be a much more rounded performer.
That's super interesting. One of the things that I feel like is the case is that when you do the things where you're doing good improv, what we call good improv, and there's all these rules and people talk about the theories and stuff like that. But when you boil it down to what a good improviser is, it also comes down to what a good person is, like what it means to be like have a healthy psyche, and like how to be almost it's how to obtain Zen. But it would come at it from this very different point of view. Most times we're trying to be funny, or we need attention, or we have to express something. But improv it invites you to study the art of Zen, so you get this like balanced perspective on who you are. But the two things that you said are also two things I didn't think about this until you were saying this. It just like kind of sprang to my mind in that um, one of the ways that you can get in your head is being overwhelmed by the situation where you have either high anxiety or very deep depression, or two very common things that happen. There's obviously levels to that for all these different people. And that is oftentimes we get because we get into our heads because of our lives, right? We're anxious because we're thinking about the future and with all the things that are going to happen. We're depressed because we look at the past and we think about all the poor decisions that we've made, or we're overwhelmed by the future and that causes our depression. We're anxious because of our past and something's out to get us. But the way that we can get out of our heads in these moments of like just psychosis, right? Essentially, where we're controlled by it, is to put our hands on something. One of the most common like things that's suggested for like breaking the moods that we find ourselves in is to just get up and do some chores, take the dog for a walk, go get your mail, something, so that you can at least start moving and put your hand on something, and then you went on to suggest even go explore the rest of your environment. Which a good solution for being in this state where we're like anxious or depressed all the time is being around other people. Even if we don't do anything, we experience the world and literally, in ways touch grass, right? Go out, experience nature and the beauty of it. And then the other thing that you said is that we as people are, especially like Western culture, and especially when you come from either a religious upbringing or something like distant like that, where they're like, you need to control yourself in certain ways. We have this where we like feel things, but we feel like either there's something wrong or we're not allowed to express them. And I think that that's what you're saying too. Like the second idea is really that if you're going to be a more healthy person or a better improviser, also we need to understand and to look inwards and see ourselves how we actually feel, and so that we can use those to talk about our truths. That was a long ramble, and thank you for hanging with me on that. What are your thoughts there?
It makes absolute perfect sense to me, because one of the things I like to do is when I teach high schoolers, because I've mentored a couple of high school teams. And one of the things I'll do in a practice is we will do an entire practice where we never talk,
Hmm.
and we'll do scenes, but everybody that goes out, the rule is that we're going to build a house together, we're going to build a room together, and everybody's going to agree on it.
Hmm.
Or when you step out to start, don't just step out like you're standing at a bus,
Yeah, bus stop.
waiting for the bus.
Yep.
Do something,
Do something.
whether it's sweeping or it's
Put your hands
you're
on something.
opening doors, right?
Right.
Because now there's something there. Everybody starts getting invested
Yeah.
instead of you just standing there all ho hum.
Yeah.
Now they're starting to get invested, and you will find discovery a lot faster
Yeah. They're doing something or
because,
feeling something. Yeah. 100%.
right, yeah. And I specialize in playback,
Oh,
uh,
cool.
which is a weird, which is the oddball in improv circles, is
I'm
doing
sorry. I just
playback.
realized our audience probably doesn't know what that is, even though you and I do. What do you mind describing playback real quick?
So playback is, I do a workshop if I ever get to teach it, but I have a workshop that I like to do called Playing Somebody Else's Game.
Mhm.
And it's using playback techniques because playback gets people's stories just like you would an Armando, but you get stories, and they don't have to necessarily be funny. They can be very serious or whatever. And then there are different forms that you act those stories back out. You bring those stories back to life. And it's not just in, well, we're going to replay that story the way it is. Sometimes you take it out and you retell the story as a fairy tale.
Ah,
Or, and then you have people that are acting out behind you. So you've got somebody telling, or you take somebody's story and you do something where there's movement involved. So there's a form called MST, which is movement, sound, and text.
yeah.
And so somebody will start doing movement, then somebody will do sound effects, and then somebody will tell whatever the story is, but you're doing it through repetition, or there's a bunch of different forms that you tell that story back in some way or another. And playback is it's interesting because you get some really wonderful funny stories and they get really really serious stories out of people. um the because you start dealing with some of the forms maybe just about the emotions of the person that was the teller, or it's how everything surrounds you and you get this cacophony around the person that plays the teller.
Hmm.
It's different, it's different forms, but you're acting out in the abstract.
Right.
So
Right.
you take on emotions, side characters, you take on objects. I love being an object
Same.
because
I don't know
I can
why.
tell what I see.
Right.
Yeah. You
But
know,
yeah, no.
sometimes
Actually, Aaron Cosbill and I, we became best buds because it's not a common thing that people love to be objects. But the two of us decided to start scenes as fish, which I guess it really isn't an object, but um, that was where we both realized we're the same type of weird. It's been fantastic having a wonderfully weird conversation with you, Mr. So for everyone knows, this is Aaron Cody Campbell who's joined us today on Flicking with Skip. And man, I would love to have you back after the Secret Improv Festival to hear how it went and talk about that if you're down. I have had such a great
absolutely.
time like talking about improv and all the things that you're doing. So again, thank you for taking the time to come onto our podcast. Do you have any
I
final thoughts?
appreciate the I appreciate the offer to come on to the podcast. And by the way, I don't know, you sent me the book that you had written.
Yes, sir.
Fantastic. Read the book, and it's a fantastic book
Oh,
that you had sent me.
thank you.
Because I got a phone call. I got a phone call. It showed up at the office at the theater, and they go, "You got a package." Like, I wasn't expecting no package, and then I get this book, and it's a wonderful read. So if anybody that's learning about improv or wants to really get into some interesting theory and all this, I absolutely would recommend your book. It's a good read.
Aaron, thank you guys. That was not a paid promotion. And I wasn't
Oh, not at
expecting
all.
that from you to come on the show. It was really just, yeah, it's not at all, right? But no, I've been really excited to be connecting with improv theaters across the country. And that's when we became friends on Facebook. You reached out and I was like, yeah, this is awesome. So let's hang out. Yeah, man, thank you again so much. And we will catch up soon. Hopefully at the festival because I know you got stuff coming up in the next few months to make that happen. But I hope it's a blast, and we'll hear about it when we get back with you.
It should be a just a grand old time, especially now it's 3 nights. So I actually get to be done earlier this year.
Oh my
So
God!
that's that means I can go drink beer with the with the people across at the bar across the parking lot.
Right, and not make them have to close for that year. Actually, so I had one final question, if this is okay. I meant to get it way earlier in the conversation. Um, what
Right.
is what is the secret part of the Secret City Improv Festival?
So the Secret City part of the Secret City Improv Festival because like I said, the Grove Theater was built during the Manhattan Project. Oak
Mhm.
Ridge, Tennessee, was a major part of the Manhattan Project. So the Grove
Okay,
Theater is
this
named
is all
after
starting to
Leslie
come together. Okay,
Groves.
I got you. Yeah, yeah.
Right. So the secret part of the secret city is that Oak Ridge was not on a map because Oak Ridge did not exist. It was three other little towns: Robertsville, Elza, and Scarborough. And those three little towns are no more. And so that you know, Oak Ridge kind of sprang up out of nowhere.
Gotcha.
And to this day, it's a hodgepodge of weirdness, but it's where, you know, we really hit the ground running with uranium refining and all of this. And the whole history of Oak Ridge it's fascinating.
That
But it was the secret city because you were not allowed to tell about Oak Ridge at all.
what?
And there were
Okay.
minders, but it was so important to World War II because
Yeah.
they're developing the bomb.
When you say there were reminders, or there were literally like signs up that said, "Do not mention the fact that you'd been here."
Oh yeah, and like everything, they tried to keep the town as normal as possible in World War II.
Right.
So like Oak Ridge High School, if they would have to be hooded when they left. If a high school came to play Oak Ridge High School, they had to be hooded when they went in. If a scientist or anybody, if you got passed to go to Knoxville or whatever
Uh-huh.
around the area, you were not allowed to talk about anything. And they knew, like, you had to give them an itinerary of where you were going and all of this. And there were government minders all around Knoxville to
Wow.
try to keep any information going out because this is not just top secret. This is top
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
secret.
obviously the project
Stuff
they're
that they
working on is huge. That's that. Wow. Wow. That's a
Yeah.
cool history. Um,
Yeah.
so I'm
So
glad we
we
got
made
that.
all the
Yeah.
stuff that they blew up at Los Alamos. So, you know, but
Well,
it's insane. It really is.
that is pretty insane. But again, all right, Aaron, Cody, Campbell, everyone. Again, thank you for being here. And I'm gonna log off, but we can definitely hang out in the Discord more after the show. So, you
All
have a
right.
good
Well,
night.
thank you.
Yeah, you bet.